my name is Erin Kircher and I'm the coordinator of children's ministry here at Trinity English Lutheran Church, and I'm here to bring you 5 quick tips to help your children engage with the live stream here at Trinity English Lutheran Church. Tip number 1, go ahead and create a ritual around the ritual. We go through the liturgy every Sunday as our act of worship, and it's the same every Sunday, and we can do that with our families. So I encourage you, think of something that's particularly exciting for your child or children to do on Sunday mornings. So for instance, when we used to come on site, my 4-year-old daughter loved the donuts. Loved the donuts. And it was an act of communion and being together with her church family that she came and she had a donut with all of the other children at church. So you can do something like get donuts. You can make cinnamon rolls together. If you're not into the sweets, it could be omelet Sunday. Create some kind of special meal to have with your family that you can then sit down and watch the live stream. And do that as many Sundays as you attend the live stream, and it becomes a ritual that your family can look forward to. Tip number 2, focus on a part of the liturgy. So everything we do in the liturgy happens for a reason. And what you can do is you can pick one each week and talk to your children about it, teach them about it, and then come up with ways to engage that part of the liturgy during the live stream. Maybe you have talked about the prayers of the people. Good news, it's a live stream, so you can pause it and you can stop and you can offer your own praises and your own supplications during the prayer time. If you have taught the children what the word amen means, for instance, that it means, yes, I agree, you can play an I Spy game of find the amen in the service. So every time that they hear amen, there's something to do. They jump up and down, they spin around, whatever thing they've decided would be fun to do every time they hear the word amen. And you might say to me, Erin, I don't know why we do the liturgy. Don't worry, I've helped you out. Down below in the links under the video, there is a link to a quick explainer about what the parts of the liturgy are and what they mean. So you can do your homework and then share it with your kids. Number 3, add movement. Movement is always fun for all of us. There's a number of different things that you can do. You can stand or kneel for the prayers. Again, if you have learned about the prayers and you've learned what a praise or a supplication is, you can have different motions for those. So when a child hears a praise in the prayer, they can stand up. When they hear a supplication, they can kneel. Another thing you can do is you can learn ASL signs. That's American Sign Language. I've also included some links below. So for instance, the American Sign Language for amen goes like this. And every time your children and you hear those words in the videos, in the live streams, you can do the signs, amen. And it gives your body something else to do. It gives your children and you a more tactile response to the live stream. Another thing that you can do is you can do movements during the hymns, which takes me to tip number 4. Find ways for your children to interact with the hymns. Most children don't know how to read yet. And if your child doesn't know how to read yet, they can't read the hymns. It's hard for them to sing along. So there's a couple of things you can do. You can give them shakers. If you have any small music instruments around the house, you can give them to your child to use only during the hymns. Create a solid line saying, this is what we do during the hymns. And then they're put away when the hymns are over. And if you don't have shakers at home, you can make a shaker out of almost anything. This is a water bottle filled with beads. Any closed container with something hard inside that can be shaken makes a shaker. But if that's too much noise for you, you can do a kazoo. You can do movement. So you can work with your children to make up different dance moves and movements to the hymns. You get to work together and see what works for your family. And number 5, let's talk about the sermon. Let's be real, the sermon's not for kids. It's not written for kids, it's not directed at children. And this would be the moment that I recommend that you find something your child likes to do during this time. It should be engaging, that they can do on their own, that is quiet enough that it's not disruptive to the adults in the room that are trying to listen to the sermon. So Play-Doh, if your child likes Legos. We also have a children's bulletin that that you can print off the website. You can print out the children's bulletin, and this would be the time that your child can work on the children's bulletin if your child likes to do crafts. It can really be anything that your child likes to do. And what you can do is you say, this is our activity for the sermon. And they know they can keep an eye out for when the pastor goes up to the pulpit. It's time to get out our sermon activities. And they can work and work and work. And then the line is when the pastor leaves the pulpit, go put your things away. And we're moving on to the next part of the service. And that is the key to any of these tips. Consistency, consistency, consistency. Pick one or two that work for your children and create a ritual around it. Create specific boundaries about when we do it and what we do, and then continue to do that and hold those boundaries. Hope you found these tips helpful. Give me any feedback you have, and I'll see you later.